Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we watched the premiere of House of the Dragon. It is the prequel spinoff for Game of Thrones. Excited to talk about it. I personally thought it was a really strong opening for a new series, you know. I think maybe part of that reason is because David and Dan are not involved in any way with the show.
Oh my gosh.
just my hypothesis here, we'll see. And I think we'll continue to talk about the show. Maybe we'll do a wrap up after after the first season is done. But I really liked it. What are your thoughts about the first episode?
Well, we're definitely going to do a wrap up because I really liked it. So I thought that it was a little slow to start, but it picked up and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I especially enjoyed the ending, which I'm not going to get into right now. I'm going to save that for the spoiler section. I really loved how kind of like family oriented it was, which is initially how Game of Thrones started out. Internal turmoil between the family. And over here, it seems to carry on the theme of turmoil through Daemon, the brother of the king. However, there's a lot of reliance and love. And I really loved that there's some female advocacy in the show without getting too much into it. So yeah, I would say I rate it 8 out of 10.
Wow, that's really high.
Yeah, I really liked it. And it actually did pretty well in the premiere. So.
Yeah, I don't know how to rate it because I feel like I need to see the rest of the season, but I was very positive on it. I thought it was really enjoyable. One criticism is, and this is a criticism for all TV shows and color grading and lighting in TV shows, brighten the screen. I can't see it. I'm not watching this in pitch darkness. Jesus Christ.
It's
I can't see like half of the shows.
Right?
During some of the scenes, you know, it's just like squinting and I just have to like imagine what's going on with the sounds because it's so hard to watch. Maybe this is just like boomer criticism or whatever, but I feel like this is so prevalent in movies and TV shows. Color graded and they're lit for like cinemas. Most of us are watching it. We're watching this on TV.
Who's watching HBO in cinemas, you know?
Exactly. So can you please just like
brighten
it up a little bit? If there's like a single light on in my house, I can't see anything.
No, not even a light. It's if it's daylight out there in any kind of way.
You shouldn't watch it during the daytime. Yeah.
But I feel like it's kind of made for like home movie theater vibe in a lot of these type of shows. So
pretty much.
So do you want to get to spoiler or do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I don't really have much to say. I mean, I love the dynamics of the characters. There you go. All right, let's talk spoilers.
Okay.
Let's be real. If you're here, you've probably seen the episode.
Yeah, let's be real. So I really love Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra starts out as a very strong character. You know, her father wants to have a son and she's not a son. And that is not a good thing in this day and age. I really love that they propelled forward with the notion that she herself could be trusted and loved by her father at the end to be able to make the wise decision over his brother, Daemon, who was presumed heir to the throne, even though he was evil. And I'm glad that there was this realization that, hey, we should actually make this capable woman the leader as the future heir of the throne when the king is dead. And this was all because the king believed in his daughter, but it was really nice to see because a lot of times shows like this, there is a very big separation of ideology in the sense of what a woman can do and what they can stand for. And I really like that she surpassed her uncle. I also like that like the relationship between her and the uncle because they're bonded in a lot of ways, but he's kind of evil. So I'm interested now that she has quote unquote taken the throne from him, if the closeness that they had previous to her being announced the heir of the throne will still be there. Furthermore, I also liked the dragons. I really liked that it was already existing, which it was supposed to be at this time, and I love the bond that she has with the dragon. Another thing I really liked was the king. So when the king's wife dies in childbirth, because he chose the life of his unborn son over his wife who ended up dying anyway, the hand of the king tells his daughter to sleep with the king since the king is in mourning. And I really love that the king wasn't like, hey, my wife just died yesterday. Let me just go ahead and sleep with a bunch of girls. I really like that he was actually mourning his loss and he was actually shown to care, because a lot of times in Game of Thrones, there were moments in which these kind of, the healing process seemed to be sped up. Like they're so stoic that they can't feel anything. And I really love that there was emotions put back in these characters again.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the world building. I thought that, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the show Succession, and any show that's about power and succession, they're trying to figure out who's going to be the new king or queen. So I love those kind of dynamics, the family power dynamics of the king having to, favoring his brother, but the brother being kind of reckless and basically a fascist. That dynamic was just really well done. There were some scenes in this show that were really hard to watch. The C-section scene, that was really hard to watch.
Yeah.
But, very well done. The battle scene was fantastic. I thought there was just a lot of, in the camera work, it was really dynamic and interesting. Another thing I like about Game of Thrones in general, and this show is doing well also, is establishing that the characters are not perfect, that who we favor might change, from week to week, just like we may favor one person over another over time, in all sorts of business, family dynamics. People are kind of motivated, looking out for themselves, trying to survive in these situations. It's really interesting.
I do feel like there is, we're going to favor the daughter.
I feel like that may be the case,
consistently.
But one thing that concerns me is that Rhaenyra, she is very close to Daemon, her uncle. And now that there's this kind of hostility between the uncle and the rest of the family, there may be, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be tough because they seem close.
Well, I think it will be interesting for her how she actually
how she handles her uncle.
Yeah, because she has to be more dutiful to her new role rather than care about his feelings, because he is, like you said, a tyrant. So I think that will make it more of an interesting character. But I really hope that we don't have to switch sides. And when I say have to, they write her wrongly, like they did, like they wrote Daenerys really wrongly the last season, because I was really, or maybe last 2 seasons, because I was really for her until they literally put her character down. And if that's the case, I'm done with everything related to Game of Thrones.
I think that the final season of Game of Thrones became more theatrical, less grounded in the realism of the character motivations, of figuring out, who these people actually are. Not everyone's good or evil. That's what I like. For example, Hightower, the Hand of the King, he comes across very sympathetic at first. He seems like a very reasonable person and a morally good person. And then later in the episode, he basically is trying to pimp out his daughter to the king to try to gain power. It's very complicated. I look forward to learning more about the characters. I think that's what makes this show so watchable and this type of storytelling very engaging, because again, anything could happen. It feels like these are real people. The world feels real, even though it's fantasy world. So it's just incredibly interesting.
Yeah, and it's only episode 1, so who knows?
Yeah, everything's set up. All the players are set up. And I thought, honestly, it's a lot faster than the first episode of Game of Thrones. Right? Things are moving a lot faster. Like the fact that she is basically crowned the heir to the throne at the end of the first episode, I was like, wow, okay, we're kind of moving through history a little fast here. We cover a lot of ground.
I think they need to, because it's a prequel, not a sequel. So we already know a lot of what happened. So I think they need to kind of keep it faster in order for us to still be interested.
Probably also because if I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure the book that this show is based on is written like a textbook or like a history book in world by George R.R. Martin. So it's not like Game of Thrones with different narrators, POVs, whatever, or same narrator, but different POVs. It's written like a history book. So I feel like we will probably cover a lot of ground. I don't know. I haven't read the books, so.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too. Let us know what you think will happen. How does it compare to Game of Thrones? We are looking for a new show to become obsessed with because the rehearsal just wrapped. So this might be it.
This might be it. Until next time.
Until next time.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.